The movie starts, and we see two guys. One is Nick, and the other is Sean. They are high school football players and also Riz Kings. We see Sean admiring a brunette with his pal Nick. He says he wonders if the brunette wouldn't mind having his Saint Nick down her throat, whatever that means. They are in the middle of a game, and their team seems to be losing, so they gather around to make a plan. Then, with the plan made, they got back in the game and won with ease. In the next scene, we see both guys walking out of the locker room. A girl named Maddie wanted to thank Sean for helping her understand a topic in chemistry, but Sean tells her there is nothing to thank him for, that he was happy to help. She casts a few "I want your bazooka down my chimney" glances and then leaves. Then we see another girl coming from down the hallway who is into Nick, but apparently Nick doesn't even remember her name. He is saved by Sean, who tells him that her name is Jennifer. She wanted to ask if he was going to the bonfire tonight, to which he says yes. Then she tells him if she could be her partner, which he agrees to. Damn, I wish girls were like this during my school days. Anyways, as they meet their football coach, he informs them that they will be leaving for football camp on Monday, which would last for 2 weeks. They are not really excited about it because that would mean 2 weeks without any girls. It's nighttime, and they are at the bonfire. While they are busy shooting rocks into the river, they overheard a group of girls, who also happen to be the football team's cheerleaders, talking about cheer camp, which the school cheerleaders are all going to. They are also going to spend 2 weeks at the camp. They overheard the girls saying there were going to be 300 girls, which amazes the two guys. Then Sean says that would be a very good place to be. Immediately, an idea comes to Nick, and he says they should ditch football camp and go to cheer camp. There, they can bang as many bitches as they like. Sorry, that wasn't in the script. I meant they could get as many girls as they liked. But they have one problem. Are guys allowed to go to cheer camp? They decided to ask the leader of the cheerleaders, who goes by the name Carly, if they could go. She says yes, guys are allowed at cheer camp. But she says no, that she won't allow them to come because she knew they were only interested in getting hoes. I mean girls, and not cheerleading. So, without any options, they go to meet Sean's younger sister, Poppy, who is also in the junior cheerleading squad, for help. She agrees to help them, but at a price, which is she gets Sean's room for 2 months. Without any other option, they agree. She makes a plan to get them in. Then, in the next scene, we see the three of them about to execute Poppy's plan. They see the group of cheerleaders approaching. Immediately, they throw a frisbee into the tree and then throw Poppy in the air to take back the frisbee, and then catch her back safely to the ground. Just so you know, the reason they did this was to show the cheerleaders that they were actually good at catching girls in midair because that's what boys are used for in cheerleading. Anyways, the cheerleaders are amazed and ask them where they learned how to catch bitches like that. I mean people in the air like that. They lied and said that it was a talent, leaving out the part that they spend an entire morning practicing. They lie to the girls that they dream of going to cheer camp with them. So with the girls won over, they went to their leader and begged her to allow Nick and Sean. Carly, being powerless, agrees because she didn't want to go against her team. With that done, they go to tell their coach that they won't be going to football camp. They make up some goofy lie, which annoys the coach, but in the end, he allows them to go. The day reaches to go to cheer camp. As they are about to board the bus, Carly stops and tells them that even if they fooled everyone, they can't fool her with this. They board the bus. In the bus, the girls start chanting a cheerleader song, which the boys found annoying. Soon, they arrive at the camp, and as Nick and Sean unboard from the bus, Nick tells Sean that they have arrived to heaven. Then we see 300 hot chicks doing yoga exercises outdoor. Damn, these dudes really are in heaven. Then, not waiting to settle down, Nick and Sean immediately go to a hot-looking girl and tell her that he is new and was hoping if she could show him around. The girls agree, but right in the middle of their request, Carly calls them and tells them that they have to sign their name to the coach of the cheerleading camp. This is where we meet Diora, the wife of the camp coach. We see that she is very hot. Nick admires her and tries his Riz skill, but turns out she is Riz-proof. She then tells Nick to go fuck himself. This hardens Nick's resolve, and he swears to himself that he must bang Miss Diora before leaving cheer camp. Then in the next scene, we see the two guys approaching their lodge. There they meet Brewster, who is straight up gay and also head of the boys' dorm. We also meet a black named Adam, and also a dude dressed in a mascot suit. We also see another dude named Downey. In total, there are 6 boys in the whole boys' dorm. After changing their clothes, they go to a camp meeting where they are told the do's and don'ts. There we also meet Diora's husband, Coach Keith. If you are finding value in this video, like and subscribe so I can get monetized. In the next scene, it's nighttime and the two guys sit on a chair and admire girls there. Nick tells Sean that tomorrow their mission begins. It's the next day, and the two boys get to work, and they manage to riz their way through a few girls. After the workout, they go to the cafeteria and find out that all the food on the menu is just a bunch of vegetables, which makes them upset. They meet Poppy, who helps them out with a few candy bars. They then decide to head outside. There, Nick sees Diora and tries rizzing her again, but is instantly turned down. He wondered why she wouldn't budge. Then we see Carly, who approaches Sean to apologize for not trusting them earlier, to which Sean replies, "It's okay." In the middle of their conversation, Carly's boyfriend arrives, who calls himself Dr. Richard, and they both kiss. This makes Sean a little jealous, and before the dude leaves, he tells Sean and Nick to stay away from his girl. We later find out that Sean is secretly in love with Carly, which Nick finds very weird. Then Nick sees a bunch of girls going to the workout zone, and with his god-tier Riz skills, tells them if they don't mind, could they all go swimming tonight. All the girls agree. There, Nick and Sean bang a lot of girls. After the swim, they couldn't find their clothes. This is because a raccoon had made away with it earlier when they were busy banging bitches with no order choice. They run to their dorm naked, but they are caught. But Coach Keith, who questions why they are naked and outside even after curfew, Nick lies and says they were practicing for the upcoming cheerleading competition and they love doing it naked, so that all the moves can sink into their body. After hearing this, he tells them to continue with their practice, which he says he will supervise. The boys reject his offer, but he insists, and they ended up dancing, but naked. It's tomorrow night, and it's also movie night. As they all watch a movie outdoors, Nick decides to take a leak and asks Sean to escort him. After this, they head back to where the movie is being played, but they hear a car coming and decided to hide. And it turns out to be Dr. Richard, Carly's boyfriend, and two of his friends. As the two guys eavesdrop on their discussion, they found out that he is cheating on Carly. Sean wants to tell her, but Nick tells not to that wouldn't make Carly love him, it would just make him look like a douchebag, and he drops the idea. The next day, Nick says it's time they left cheer camp and go home, but Sean reminds him that their team still needs them for the upcoming competition. But Sean says he had banged enough girls, but Sean refuses. He then start leaving alone, but on a second thought comes back and tells Sean that he is his best friend, so he's gonna stay for him. Sean is then happy. After this, they go to practice for the upcoming competition. In the next scene, we see Dr. Richard driving up to Brewster, the gay dude, and with just a few nods brainwashes him to lead him and his friends to the boys' dorm. Then in the next scene, after going to the boys' dorm and running through Nick and Sean's stuff, he finds Nick's diary and 2 bus tickets. He reads Nick's diary out loud. Nick tries to stop him, but is held back, and we found that Nick wrote a poetry about Miss Diora, which Richard reads it out loud in front of Miss Diora. Damn. Sucks to be this guy. He also revealed that the 2 guys were gonna ditch them after they were done having fun. This hurts the girls, and they told them to leave. They no longer need them. Again, they try to explain, but they wouldn't let them. In the next scene, we see the 2 guys, and they are back home with their friends, but they weren't having much fun as they used to, feeling totally bad. They go back to ask for forgiveness, which the girls finally forgive them. It's the big competition day, and they are all getting ready for the competition. We then see their cheer camp coach with his hot wife, Diora, who is now looking at Nick with a pair of fuck me eyes. The coach then tells them to get off camp because he heard what they did to their teammate. They apologize, but he insists. But Carly comes in time and tells him that the team has forgiven them. He dismisses them. Before they leave, Diora stops Nick and tells him that she loves the poetry he wrote about her and that he should meet her behind the center tree for some private coaching on reproduction tonight. We then see Carly as she approaches her boyfriend, who asks her what Nick and Sean were doing on their team. She says they are cool again. Then Nick calls Dr. Richard a dick. Richard chuckles and tells them he's got his eye on them. The competition begins, and we see the Panthers. They are incredible and have most of the audience's vote for them as the best cheer squad to win. After that, we see a couple of other teams do their rounds. Then finally it was the turn of our team, the Tigers. They perform some cool moves, but this doesn't entertain the audience. Then, at the spur of the moment, Carly spots Dr. Richard banging a member of the Tigers, who also happens to be their enemies. Sean tells her to get her head in the game. They realize they weren't getting much of the audience's attention, so they hatch a plan and decide to pull off the most dangerous move in cheerleading. They attempt the move, and with a minimal amount of luck, they manage to pull it off, which shocks the crowd. But in the spur of the moment, Sean mistakenly dives into the water and passes out. When he later regains consciousness, he asks if they won. Carly tells him no, but they did manage to make it to 18th place, which is better than last year when they came in 30th. Carly finally kisses him. As they were busy smooching their life out, Richard comes and picks Sean up like a wet rag and asks him what he was doing with his girlfriend. but Carly tells him to drop the act and tells him it's over between them, then goes back to smooching faces with Sean. Richard attempts to punch Sean, but Nick saves the day with his face. Then the dude Downey punches Richard. He then crawls like the douchebag he is. Then we see the Panthers. They took first in the competition and came to mock the Tigers, but a member of the Tigers gives one of them a clean right hook, and they all scramble. The movie is about to end, and we see Nick getting ready to bang Diora but is caught by her husband. Diora flees, but Nick is caught. Luckily, he doesn't know what was happening, so he asks Nick what he was doing outside. By that time, Nick says he was practicing, which he believes, and offers to assist him, but Nick just runs away, and the movie ends.